Hello everyone, Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense. Thank you for watching. I have another Monday quarterback video for you. This video comes from Columbus Police body camera on YouTube. So this incident occurred in Columbus, Ohio in April of 2022. And sometimes there are some agencies that don't have much of an online presence for their social media or their public information office, and it can be kind of difficult to find the source video. So this YouTube page is, like I said, called Columbus Police Body Camera, and it's not affiliated with the Columbus Police, but they get a lot of body cam footage from the Columbus Police and post it to their page. I had found this video on another site, and I tried to find the original source video. Could not find it. I searched for the Columbus Police website, looked through it, looked for their social media online, couldn't find the damn thing. And unfortunately, sometimes that happens. Sometimes these agencies will just release the video to the media with a little bit of information behind it, and then the media will put the video out there. Now, once that happens, the media will copy other media. And I've found some shorter snippets of this video that was like maybe a minute or two long, and it didn't really show the full entirety of what had transpired. And the video that I'd seen was about 8 minutes long, and I was wanting to find that. Could not find it from original source or from some other larger news company. And instead, I'm having to resort to copying it from Columbus Police body camera. So if you have not subscribed to their channel, I'd recommend going to subscribing to their channel, because they have lots and lots of body cam footage videos on their page. And it's more than just, use of force stuff. It's all kinds of stuff on there. Just kind of like day-to-day kind of stuff. So it's pretty interesting if you're just kind of wanting to watch just some general body cam footage that doesn't involve people being shot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this video, and then I will pause intermittently and talk about things that are going on to explain better what's going on, and talk about things that I think that are being done right and or done wrong. Without further ado, here we go.
30 a.m. An officer with the Columbus Division of Police Freeway Patrol was responding to a call about a stranded motorist.
Just double checking, there's a red sedan that's literally on the left side wall, berm, like the driver's side is smashed into the wall.
Shortly after arriving on scene, the officer was attacked. The suspect in this case is a Sabab Islam. He was out on bond for 3 cases of armed robbery and 1 case of murder.
So let's talk about that. So this guy was arrested for being involved in the murder of a 14-year-old boy. I forget the circumstances behind it. I had looked at a news article about it. Some type of confrontation occurred. They shot at the 14-year-old, and the 14-year-old ended up dying as a result. So he was in there for that. And I want to say he had something else, and he had a $2 million bond to start with. And I can't remember what had transpired, but he somehow ended up getting out of jail. His bond had been changed by a judge, and I can't remember the reasoning in behind that. But he's out on bond, and then is out and about in public, and then this happens. Unfortunately, that seems to be a recurring theme here in America. Violent offenders being released way too damn early. They're getting out on lower bonds. They're given lighter sentences. Instead of being given life, they're given like some bullshit 10, 15 years. If they are given 20, 25 years, they only have to serve X amount of it and end up getting out within 10 years. They get to go on probation or parole at that point, and they go out and continue to victimize more people. It's all across the nation. When people talk about we need justice reform, they're talking about police. We need to change what the police are doing. I disagree, and I think that we need justice reform in the courts and in corrections. The courts need to stop releasing these fucking criminals all the damn time and stop giving them little slaps on the wrist. Obviously, the message is not being heard. This is a threat to society. This is a public health issue at this point, when the courts and corrections are continuously releasing these violent offenders early from prison and jail, and or not even convicting them of the right thing, and then they get out super early on lesser charges because they want to give them a plea deal. The changes also need to occur within corrections, because when it comes to parole boards and stuff like that, some of these parole boards, I don't understand what their criteria is for granting a person parole. Well, there's way too many violent offenders out there who are being granted parole, and they go out and victimize more people. So the parole boards need to be restructured. There needs to be a better way of doing this, instead of just having it all in-house with the Department of Corrections and some wacky liberal ass people sitting on this board. It's obviously not working at all. So I think that needs to change. And when people talk about ending qualified immunity, okay, sure, let's start with parole boards. Let's start there. We'll do a test run. And when the parole boards start getting sued because they released a violent offender too early, next time another violent offender comes up and wants to plead their case for being released early, that parole board might think twice about letting them out. But something's got to change. This has been going on. It's not like it's within the last couple of years. It's been going on for quite some time, and the public is just aloof. They don't really fully know about everything that's going on within the criminal justice world. They only see the big things that hit the news. No one is taking the time to follow the repeat criminals within their towns and everything, and showing, hey, this person's just, they're in trouble again. Here they are. Of course, the local criminal justice system knows and understands, but the general public doesn't fully understand how many times some people become repeat offenders or frequent flyers. And that's a problem. Why are we wasting our tax money and our time on catching and releasing? It's not fucking working. Lock their ass up. Give them 10 years and give them 10 years flat. Personally, I think that these violent offenders need to be locked away for an extremely long time. If they are persistent felony offenders and they're violent as shit, lock them away until they turn 70 years old, and then you can release them. Reason why I say that is because when you go look at the street corner in the hood, you don't see no 70-year-olds on the corner gang banging. It just don't work like that. They'll get their asses murdered in a heartbeat. They can't keep up with the young cast. They can't run from the police very good either. So I say with violent offenders, lock them up until they get all gray in their hair. Then they're safe to release, because they can't fight very well at that point anymore. Then the public can be safe. I'm not even really fully looking at these gangbangers anymore as the real threat to society, the clear and present danger to society. I'm starting to look at judges and parole boards as being the clear and present danger to society. They're the ones who are putting the public at risk. They're the ones who are making the streets dangerous. Those are really the real criminals, in my opinion, the ones who just keep letting these gangbangers out. I'll get off that rant. We're moving on.
What's up, buddy? What's that? I can't hear you. What's going on? Oh, what'd you hit?
I really think it was just a, I'm not really sure.
Did your tire blow up? Why are you sitting like that? Did you pee yourself?
Peed himself.
Yes.
Where are you coming from, man?
I'm really coming from Columbus, Ohio, and I'm on my way to
You on your way where? I can't hear you, buddy. Traffic's
I'm
rich.
going to visit. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
You're going to visit?
Yeah.
Who are you going to visit?
I'm going to visit somebody else.
Where at? Your car's pretty messed up, man. Your tire's completely off the axle. You got an ID on you, brother? Are you the registered owner of the car? Okay. So where at in Columbus, Ohio were you coming from?
He's coming from,
When? You said the car's registered to you? Yeah. What's your address?
address is 17.
Okay. Is there a reason why you're laying in your seat like that? And not sitting like a normal driver? When I heard you kicking, what were you kicking when I was pulled up on you? You just trying to get out? Okay. All right, buddy. Well, just trying to figure out what happened. Do you know what it was that you struck? What'd you hit? You don't know? Okay. All right. Shit. All right. Can you hand me the keys to the car? Turn your car off real quick. Hey, partner. Can you turn your car off? Hey. Hey, can you turn your car off for me, buddy, and hand me the keys?
So,
Hey, you're good. Just gonna hang tight in here for a minute. I'm gonna run your tag, see if I can get some info on you, okay? Just stay in the car. Get back in there for me. I don't want you to get hit. Can you just put your leg back in the car? Thank you, sir. What are you doing, man? What you doing, brother? You don't know? All right, I'm gonna have you come sit in my car because I don't want you to get hit by somebody, okay? Do you have anything on you? Any guns, weapons, knives, grenades, rocket launchers, anything like that? All right, let's go ahead and step back here, man. I'll take.
I'm going this way.
No.
I'm going this way.
Hey, brother, come on.
I'm not going this way.
Hey,
I'm going this way.
you're not going that way. Come on.
I am going this way, nigga. Fuck is this? Come here, nigga. Come here, nigga. This way, nigga.
Come on. I'll take. All right, let's go ahead and step back here, man. I'll take.
I'm going this way.
No.
I'm going this way.
Hey, brother, come on.
I'm not going this way.
Hey,
I'm going this way.
you're not going that way. Come on.
I am going this way, nigga. Fuck is this?
So, he obviously became actively resistant when the officer was trying to guide him to the vehicle. And that's a clear indication that the dude's about to fight. And not the biggest fan of him taking this, oh, he's just, probably drunk, whatever approach is like, come on, buddy, let's just go this way. Sure, you can take that sort of de-escalating voice at the very beginning, but if they're not heeding to it, it's not taken, there's no sense in continuing that bullshit, because the more that you remain soft-spoken and soft in your approach, the more they're going to perceive you as a bitch. That's what they're going to be perceiving you as. They're not going to be perceiving you as being dominant. And I think that the minute he started pulling away, the officer should have just became more decisive and aggressive with his intent to detain this guy. Obviously, he's wanting to detain him and put him in the back of the vehicle because he knows he's going to end up, going to jail with him. But he's trying, like I said, he's trying to, in my opinion, try and take the softer approach, trying to, coax the drunk guy to the back. But it's obviously not working. And the minute he started resisting and starting to pull away, I think the officer should have changed tactics at that point, became more decisive and aggressive in his choice to detain the guy. He could have initiated a rear double arm hook at that moment. He could have performed some other type of hold on this guy, and the more he resisted, perform a takedown, take him down on the ground, and take him into custody at that point. Instead, this guy now got a decent opportunity at knocking this officer out. All it takes is one good lucky hit, and your ass is getting knocked out. I mean, it can happen. It can happen to the most experienced fighter. If you ever watched MMA fights before, dudes who revolve their life around fighting, like that is their fucking livelihood right there, is just training to fight and fight. They still get knocked the fuck out during fights with one hit. And these are dudes who are trained. They do this all the time. So certainly anybody could get a lucky hit in and get you knocked out. And I don't like setting people up for those kind of successes. I don't like giving them the opportunity to get that one lucky hit in, because that's all it takes is one lucky hit and you're knocked the fuck out. And while you're knocked out, they could be taking your gun out of your holster and then shoot you in the face. And there's nothing you could do while you're knocked out. They could take a knife out and start stabbing you in the throat. They could start stomping on your head with their feet, their shoes, their boots, kicking you in the side of the head, stomping you in the throat, whatever. They could do whatever to you. And you have to assume that's what they're going to do to you once they knock you out. You can't just assume that they're going to be a good old boy, knock you out, and then go about their way. No. There's just no way whatsoever that you could ever assume that. And if you are going to be assuming that, there's something wrong with you. You're more wrong than a football bat, and you need you need some working on. So you have to assume that if they knock you out, they intend to kill you. So never give them easy opportunities to knock you out. The minute they start getting like this, become decisive, become aggressive, become ruthless, be fast with it. Take them down and take the fight out of them.
Hey, you're going this way. You're not going that way. Come on.
I am going this way, nigga.
Why is this word always used? And used towards people who aren't even black. Like, I've never understood this. I really haven't. It's it's stupid. It really is.
Fuck is it? Come here, nigga. 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 Come on. Hey, no! 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 No!
Ten three. On the freeway. 670 eastbound of Grandview.
I think you're getting hurt by the 670 eastbound Grandview.
What kind of freeway was wrong?
Got air in there?
You're a stupid idiot, man. I was trying to help you out.
Next, when you're working with work, you're 670 and 2 a.m.
What are you doing, man?
2466, about taking emergency in area. Ten 3 on 646 eastbound at Grandview. Again, 10 3 on 646 eastbound at Grandview. 104 pulls up around I got you. 153 and half and stuff. Copy. Good deal. Copy. Yeah, there as well.
Okay, so go back. Watch the fight again. So he swings at the officer, and then the officer just puts his forearm into his throat area and just rams him back into the divider wall here. He appears to give a couple of strikes and is still pushing him up against this wall here. You see him reach down trying to grab the leg to take this guy's legs out from under him and take him down. And then he goes down, and he actually goes down to a knee while still holding this guy. It just kind of appears to just pull him down to the ground. Not the moves I would have chosen to do. There's probably a whole lot more that could be said about the hand-to-hand stuff. Unfortunately, there's just so much that can go into it, and you would have to have a foundational, I guess, knowledge of knowing what certain terms and everything are, and I would also have to splice in some example footage and stuff like that. And I just don't have any stock footage of examples. I would have to copy it from somewhere else, and then I would be copying, actual copyrighted stuff. So it's kind of hard to really go into breakdown of hand-to-hand stuff and me explaining something that I can see it in my head, but then you're not seeing it in your head the way I am. So just know that there's more that can be said about hand-to-hand stuff. The Gracie Institute, if you do searches for Gracie Institute and BJJ, you can find some pretty decent videos about takedowns and stuff, and you can actually see some decent videos about where they actually go in and do a breakdown on some hand-to-hand stuff. And I think they do a good job of it. I don't think that I could do as good of a job as doing a breakdown on it, because it's just not something that I have mastered very well myself, and I just don't think that I could ever do it justice the way that some people do it justice. So I'm not even going to begin to attempt to do it. But yeah, hand-to-hand stuff is important training, and it is time-consuming, and it's harder to do. It's easier to go train on a pistol, and it's easier to train on a baton and a taser. Those things are pretty basic in a way. They can still be complex, but I feel like they're easier to get down, and it requires less time to learn those things. When it comes to hand-to-hand stuff, it requires time, lots of time to get these moves down and become very proficient with it. And when you think about the hand-to-hand stuff, especially for police, with the academies, they'll go over hand-to-hand stuff, and they'll settle on some very basic stuff that can be easily repeated in training. It's not going to encompass the entire discipline of some martial art. For example, BJJ, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. There may be some facets of that that's incorporated into some type of academy's curriculum, and it works, but there's no way that you could encompass every single thing from BJJ. Same with Krav Maga. There's parts of it that can be taken and put into an academy class, and it'd be a basic stuff, but there's just no way that you could ever cover it all. There are people, when they get to black belt level, it has taken them years to get to that point. We don't have years to be training people in this. So it is a very long art. It takes a long time to get it down to even get to that black belt level. So that's why I say I could never do this kind of breakdown with any justice, because I don't have years of intense study in that kind of hand-to-hand stuff. I've got the bare bone basics, like things that have been taken out of it and have been shown to me. But learn some hand-to-hand stuff because it goes down quick. And especially if you're going to be armed, you need to be looking at hand-to-hand stuff that incorporates armed stuff. So one class that I've taken, and I highly recommend that people go take it, is ECQC from Craig Douglas of ShipWorks. It is a 3-day class where you basically learn how to fight people on the ground and protect your gun from being taken by them, and how to get your gun out on them and shoot them with your gun, or prevent them from taking their gun out, or you taking your gun or their gun from them and shooting them with their own gun. This is done on the ground, and there's also some vehicle evolutions where on some of the classes, if there's a vehicle there, they can do it inside the vehicle, and it's some of the best training that you can get, in my opinion, and I highly recommend signing up for one of those classes and getting in on it. Another class that I've taken is pretty similar to ECQC, except it doesn't have the simunition guns in it. A guy by the name of Aaron Little. At the time, the class was called Full Contact Gunfighting, but I think he's changed the name of it since then. But it's a really good course. Aaron's a pretty good instructor, very knowledgeable with it. And although there's some very noticeable similarities in between the classes, they're also very different, just in how some of the stuff that is taught. There's some things that's taught in the full contact gunfighting class that weren't taught in ECQC, and vice versa. So, if you take a class from Craig Douglas, or you take a class from Aaron Little, don't let those be your only classes. Go take other classes, because each person has a little bit of something different to offer. Like, there were things from the full contact gunfighting class that have still stayed with me even after those years, and there were moves that I liked that I could very easily replicate and do, even after all this time of not practicing it the way I should. When you start getting into like gun disarms and knife disarms and stuff, trying to remember those moves and everything, like it can be hard. And just like anything else, these are perishable skills. If you don't practice them a whole lot or do them a whole lot, those skills kind of degrade and go away. And it's very true. But there was some stuff I learned in that one class that it's still with me today, even though I haven't really kept up with the practice and training with it a whole lot. And there's some stuff from the ECQC class that has been ingrained in me. That class is still fresh for me. Obviously, I took it last year, but it's just some things will become second nature to you. And I can't stress enough the importance of getting some hands-on training and not just focusing all your training on just firearms and stuff like that. Sometimes you need to be able to go hands-on and be effective at it. This guy, the Sabab Islam guy, I read a news article when I was trying to find the video, and it is, at time of recording, it is May 6th, and the article had come out not too long ago. he was actually sentenced for the murder or that death of that boy, and also given some time for the assault on this officer. And all he's ended up getting is like 11.5 years. Wow, right? Involved in a murder and assaulting this police officer, and all he gets is 11.5 years. And I don't fucking guarantee you he don't do all 11.5. Like, it's just no way. He's probably going to do, at most, 5 years, and then he's going to get back out again. You know, they'll probably put him on parole, and then he'll end up doing something else. He'll end up doing something else, victimizing somebody else, or getting in another situation like this where, I attacked this cop once, ain't nothing bad happened to me. I'll attack another one. And I wouldn't be surprised if we end up seeing this dude shooting video a few years down the road. It's a vicious cycle. It is. It really is, with these violent, thug-ass criminals. Like I said earlier, these judges letting them loose, and these parole boards and probation and parole just letting them do whatever. It's sad. It really is. It's sickening. It is just downright sickening. If you like what you hear and see, go ahead and give me a like and a share. If you have not already, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more Monday quarterback videos. Again, another shout out to Columbus Police Body Camera, from where I got this video from. Earl Henderson, thank you for watching.